Hi there. Um, I have an unboxing that I'm going to do. We'll call it that because I've sent out all the packages and most of you have already received them in the past week or two, and I just wanted to go into the details of what's in the box. So I'm just finishing up getting powered up by the drinking chocolate, and then I'm just going to describe basically the bars that this is the MAXI collection. Some of you may recognize elements of the chocolate garage. So these were some of the chairs that were in the chocolate garage. It's that way. And this is the mirror. It's hard to point in reverse, but that's the mirror that was in the chocolate garage as well. And this chocolate is sitting on the chocolate garage table. So feels like lots of good spirit is here. So I will start with the top and then go through the whole box. This is in no particular order. I'm just literally pulling them out of the box in the way that you would have received them. So one of the first things we have here is Oname chocolate. So Oname is a sister brand to Lonohana chocolate. And these are one of the newest panned items that they've made. So all the cacao is grown in Hawaii and the chocolate is made in Hawaii. These were Japanese style peanuts that were purchased. So they have an arari cracker around them, the peanuts. They're kind of like bar peanuts. And then they thought they would put dark milk chocolate around it and make this lovely panned item. These are really fun, very playful. And then this is a take on malt balls. So I don't know about y'all, but I love malt balls. And this is a creative sort of take on malt balls where it's not just the malt and then the very sweet sort of bad quality milk chocolate around it. This is a matcha milk chocolate around the malt balls and then dusted in matcha powder. So a lot of folks are into matcha these days. So these are really fun, kind of like raising the level of the malt ball to another level, from like trashy candy to really high quality chocolate. So the malt balls were sourced and then the chocolate was put around them, panned. It's called panning. So I think I'll start with the darks and then go through to the milks because that's generally how I would start with a tasting anyways. So we'll start with Mapele Fields. This is a Lonohana bar and it is a 75%. Mapele Fields is not one of Lonohana's farms, but Lonohana works with Ben Field, and he grows some cacao and he also ferments cacao and does a wonderful job and has just a really rigorous process and makes delightful cacao. So this was the cacao that was used to make this chocolate. It is on the island of Oahu, so it's just on a different section of the island from where Lonohana grows their cacao. Delicious bar. Actually, the drinking chocolate that I was just drinking is also made with Mapele Fields. It's actually 100%. So we do 100% drinking chocolate, and then I just sweetened it a tiny bit with coconut sugar. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Here we have one of their newer bars. So this bar is called a Hawaiian Dark with nibs and sea salt. So in a previous box, when this had just come out and hadn't been released, we had the plain version and then the salt and nibs with it. So it was a 67%. The cacao is from Opaiola Ridge, I believe. Yes. And I'm pretty sure. And in any case, it's from Oahu. And then it has nibs sprinkled on the back and black sea salt. Is that right? No, not black. It's called Alea sea salt. So this is a crunchy. It's really, the 67% is a little bit lighter than a normal dark of like 75, like the previous one. And this one, there's a nice mix of like the saltiness and the crunch. That sort of, the saltiness helps with that slightly more sweet 67%. Then we have the Hawaiian milk chocolate with sea salt. I mean, just delicious. It's a dark milk. So as you can see, it's a 55% cacao and it has sea salt on the back. Delightful. Then we're switching gears. We're going from the islands, popping over to another island, Victoria Island, and that's where Siren is from. So we have the Siren bar. This is a classic winter warmer, wrapping up winter and into spring here, but this one is delightful, has lots of different spices in it, and it's a 65% dark milk. So quite a dark milk. For those who don't know, a dark milk is a milk chocolate that has a much higher level of cacao percentage, right? So a dark might be a 70%. A dark milk, in this case, is a 65%. All right. I'm trying to keep this short, so I really want to say more about what a dark milk is, but I'm not going to. This is called Chabil. It's another classic. It's one of my favorite bars by Siren. As you can see, whoops, over here, there are a lot of awards that it has gotten. This is a 65% dark milk again, and this time it has cardamom in it. Crystal, like little nibs, as well as cardamom infused in the chocolate. And then the new one I thought I would try is the Siren Mocha bar. And this one is also a dark milk, and it's a 65. And you can read more about the collaboration that they did with their friends, their local friends who make coffee or roast coffee. Potomac. So this is a maker that was around back when the Chocolate Garage was around. Not right when we opened, but was one of the earlier craft makers. And they're still making chocolate. And I have to remind myself, Virginia. So this is a Duarte, Dominican Republic, 70%. And I actually, I wanted to do two different Dominican Republics. So this is a maker that I've not put in a box before. So Markham and Fitz chocolate makers, they were also around when the Chocolate Garage was open, towards the end. And this bar I tried because I was trying to expand and see, like, check out the makers and see how good they are and if they belong in the box, and loved this bar. It's also a Dominican Republic. It's not Duarte, it's Oco Caribe, so so when we say Dominican Republic, it's kind of a broad term, right? So there can be many different Dominican Republics. But I thought it would be interesting to try this 70% dark, Markham and Fitz, and this Potomac. I might be saying that wrong because I say a lot of things wrong. My pronunciation is funny sometimes. So these are two 70%, both from Dominican Republic, different farms, different cacao, different makers, different styles of making. So check them out and see what you think between the two. I included another Markham and Fitz. So this one is called Southern Pecan, and it has black salt on it. I was confused with the other one, and caramelized pecans. So just a classic, delicious. It's a milk chocolate, and it's a 52% dark milk. Really fun, sweeter side kind of bar. Then I included three different omnoms. I included the dark chocolate Nicaragua, a 73%. And then the Tanzania, which is a 65 dark milk. So we have a lot of 65% dark milks between Siren and Omnom. So you can contrast and compare those. This one doesn't have any flavors added. It's just a dark milk, not just, but. And then we have this one that is a dark chocolate, and that is a Madagascar origin, which is a classic origin, and it's a 66%. So you can contrast those three and compare them to other dark milks. I then included two Maru bars. Let's start with the one that's not flavored. So Daklak, 70%. So this is going to be a very like a classic European style, beautiful packaging. Maru is making really delicious chocolate from cacao that is grown in Vietnam, one of the newer countries to have really put a lot of funding and government efforts to start to sort of like help this cacao industry grow, and they've done a really, really good job. And there's been these wonderful cacaos that have come out with really, really unique flavors. So this one is a 70% plain, and then I included this one, the Mekong Kumquat, because I was hoping to have another bar that in the end they didn't have supply, so I wasn't able to include it. It was a, I'm forgetting the word, yuzu, another sort of citrus. So this is one that's trying to make up for the fact that I wasn't able to get that yuzu bar in here. It's a 68%, and it is also a Tian Gang, so it's like a single origin dark with kumquat in it. We are having some supply chain issues, especially with Mirzam. Let's start with going this way. Mirzam is in Dubai, and Dubai has not been able to, Dubai has been under tremendous pressure. So there's shipments that weren't arriving. So I wanted the India because it's just such a delicious bar. This one's a little bit on the sweeter side. It's a 65%, but Mirzam does a wonderful job. Kathy does a wonderful job with this bar. Next up in the Mirzam, I did the Kashmiri chili because it's a lovely, lovely bar as well. It's a dark, 62% dark with Kashmiri chili. And it's like really lovely, lovely balance. I wanted to include a different bar than this, the Kabisa, because it was so delicious in the last box, and I thought I would include it. But they were out because there's shipments that we're waiting for to the US, and they're not able to happen right now. So Mirzam, I decided to go for halwa. I love halwa. Halwa is it's a sesame seed sweet. This one is with sesame seeds and also with rose water. So it's kind of a classic Middle Eastern combination of flavors. And my daughter is crazy about this bar. I find it's not quite my expectation of what a halwa bar was going to be, because I guess I had my idea of halwa and hadn't thought of the rose flavors. But check it out, see what you think. I think it's probably one of the more divisive bars in this box, in terms of you're either going to love it or maybe not care for it so much. See what you think. Then we have, this one. Somebody, I can't remember right now, somebody wrote to me and said that had just delivered it last week. And then they wrote to me to say, I just popped open this bar, and they were eating it in the office because I had delivered it to their office. This bar is so delicious. It's a 60%. It's a milk plus sea salt and rye crumb. And Pump Street were bakers, and then they started making chocolate. And I don't know their baking because I haven't visited them and had their fresh baking. But in terms of like the rye crumb or the different things that they put into their bars, they must be excellent bakers as well. They do such a fantastic job. This is probably the most playful, original, so well executed, this bar, the rye crumb, milk, and sea salt. So see what you think. And then they have another one here that's the croissant. It's a 62%, and it's got croissant elements to it. So it definitely is very buttery. It's got a very different texture than the rye crumb, but both of them are really fun. Another brand that I included this time, let's start with this one. So cacao suyo, this I included two. So the Chuncho Cusco, which Chuncho is a particular cacao that has been quite sort of sought after for some time. So this is Peruvian cacao, and I think they did a lovely job. It's a very delicate cacao. So definitely don't have a big meal with like tzatziki before you have this bar. I don't know why I thought of tzatziki, but like raw garlic and all that, you'll trash your palate, and then it'll be really hard to do. So maybe this is like a morning taste. You want to at least one time have it first thing in the morning after maybe some green tea or something very simple, just to taste with a really fresh palate. I also included the piura with nibs. I was hoping to include a different one, but they didn't have it. So this one is a lovely one as well, and it's a 70%. Piura is from Peru as well, and it has nibs as well. So two darks from them. And then our local maker that I really love to work with. Let's start with their newest bar. Yes. So Choco del Mar, I've been including in some of my boxes. So this one is called Vanilla Starlight Crunch. So it is a milk chocolate with vanilla and cocoa nibs. So the crunch is the nibs. And then instead of using vanilla, like a lot of makers use vanilla to like cover over, like Lindt is a great example. They'll use vanilla to cover over flaws in a bar, to sort of smooth it out and just, or like, just kind of, when you're not dealing with very good cacao. But what Choco Del Mar wanted to do was play with vanilla as a central part of the bar and actually feature it and use really delicious vanilla. This is a really, really fun bar. And Kumar's been doing a great job with just all the design. It's very playful. Cleo's Kick we've had before, but he's worked on this one a little differently. Like he wanted to do something a little different. So Cleo's Kick is it's a 63% cacao with coffee, and he works with the Santa Cruz maker, the roaster Cat and Cloud, which if you've been down to Santa Cruz, maybe you've gone. If you haven't, go check out their coffee shop. It's a lot of fun. And then we have sort of, along with, the one I had mentioned here, that is the croissant, right? So here, what a croissant and pain au chocolat are similar, right? So what Choco Del Mar has done here is do a chocolat au pain. So it's like a reversed pain au chocolat. And the base is a 70% cacao, but there is cream in it and croissant crumbs. So I know we got a little bread theme going on here in this box, in this particular collection. And then last but not least, the last two bars are by Ranger. They've been around for some time. I remember that they were coming up when I was winding down and saying goodbye to the Chocolate Garage. But I really loved these bars. I was tasting a bunch of bars for this box and fell in love with this dark milk. Just a lovely dark milk. Just, I don't know, hits the spot. I love dark milks. I really do. I love the creaminess. I like the dairy. That's my Swiss side in me. And I also got another one, the maple. So it's also a dark milk, but it uses maple sugar instead of cane sugar. So I've probably gone on too long, but I have gotten through the whole box. It's empty. And I'm going to post this so that any of you all who have questions about your bars can get this information, and I will post some information down here as to how you might be able to, it was pointed out to me recently, and I can't believe I didn't think of this, that in addition to putting all the makers links in my previous videos, that I might actually include a way that others who might watch this video would be like, oh, I want in on this. This is not a closed membership where you cannot join and be part of getting a collection, but apparently I've made it incredibly difficult to figure out how to get on my newsletter. It doesn't help that I let the Chocolate Garage website lapse, and so it makes it a little more tricky for finding out how to get on my newsletter. But I will include a way and a link, and I have one box left, as you see, because I just emptied it, that I'm happy to deliver more likely than ship, unless you're in a cool area and I can get it to you in a week that it's cool. But I have one more box, and if you want it, you can send me an email, Sunita, S-U-N-I-T-A, de Toureil, which is DETOURREIL, at gmail.com. You can shoot me an email if you'd like to get on the newsletter that way. And you can also shoot me a message if you'd like to have this box. I only have one, so it'll probably go fast. And yes, that's it. That's all. I will be changing that email shortly to proton.me because I am trying to pull out all of the little webs that I have here connected to tech that I'm not super happy with. You know how I do all this happy chocolate stuff? That's what I used to do. For those of you who know me from the Chocolate Garage, well, there's such a thing as happy tech as well. And it has to do with privacy. It has to do with all kinds of different things. But I've decided that I don't feel so happy with Gmail anymore, and with Google Drive, and with all of my businesses being on Google Drive. So I'm actually going to be shifting to Proton. I did not expect to mention this, but why not? Because happy chocolate is kind of a smaller slice of so many other things. And the more we can align our lives in a way where we live and use our money and our attention and give our eyeballs to fewer organizations and live in alignment with what we believe, the better world we end up helping create. So with that, I say goodbye. I bid you adieu. And 17 minutes, that's not short at all. I'm so sorry. There's just so much to say about the bars. All right, happy spring.